Hello, everyone. Good day. This is Scratch and Jack, your host for the amazing Plastic Across the Pond Hangout, where modelers, scale modelers of all shapes and sizes, interests, and genres like to enjoy modeling, scale modeling, and revel in one another's scale modeling achievements. Today, we have joining us, members and followers of Amazing Plastic to talk about scale models. Without any further ado, let's get started, and let's start with James. How you doing, James?
I'm doing fine there, Jack. Yeah, if anyone's checked the post and that, I did finish my little Metal Earth Tiger 1 last night.
Nice. I'm going to screen share, but that is really cool. So you got that. How long did it take you to build that little thing?
I would say in total, probably, I would say 4 days.
4 days?
Working at it, 4 days. Because there's certain parts that just take a bit of time to fiddle with.
So I'm screen sharing what looks like photo etch, but they are certainly parts.
Yeah. It's basically a kit of photo etch. They do give you a cast barrel, though.
I asked you earlier if it's galvanized metal, but now that I see it, looks more like polished aluminum that was acid treated for the camouflage.
Yeah. Yeah. The camouflage is all etched right on the surface.
There's some more. Wow. You're using your medicine bottles for a stand. I like that.
Yeah.
You got to build yourself quite a reputation here. You know that.
Yeah.
That is really detailed. Let's go back to this one. That is really detailed. Would you say this curly thing here would be about the diameter of a penny, a Canadian penny?
Probably, yeah.
Or maybe a quarter. That looks really good. So meticulous, too. Boy, you got a lot of pictures here, 20 of them. All right. We're getting into the nitty-gritty of the tiny little pieces. Isn't that something? Wow. It almost like steampunkish, doesn't it?
Yeah, in some ways, yeah. Because you got the mechanical bits, you got the tabs and all that bit, that's.
Now I understand the medicine bottles.
Oh, cool. Very cool. And at Amazing Plastic, we are not biased. We do all kinds of material. You do paper, and you've done metal now, James. You're introducing us to a whole different medium. Really
cover
cool.
all the genres.
How really sharp are the edges, James? I mean, is it how sharp are the edges?
It is, but it's not too bad. I mean, I never cut myself once, but
right.
It's fair. I mean, if you're careful. I mean, could you cut yourself on the pieces? Yeah, I would say you can. But the parts that are etched, most of the edges are fairly rounded. I don't know what kind of how they're doing the etching, whether it's laser, whether it's an acid etch, but the edges are actually quite smooth, so they're not really a cutting edge on the edges of the metal. So, and there's only very tight little tabs.
Yeah, the reason I asked was I know that you can get tools that are photo etch tools, for various different uses, using CA and for doing scribing and so on. You get them as photo etch, so and they're obviously very sharp. So just curiosity.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the way these are etched deliberately so the edges are not sharp. So
cool.
But you could always run a file down the edges if you're concerned about it,
Well, yeah. I mean, Liam, the photo etch that we've used, like from Paragraphics, the edges don't feel to be too sharp,
Yeah. I've had so many horrific memories of working with PC cabinets made of aluminium, where you slice your fingers and slice your hand. Blood will be left behind.
Right.
So that's why when it's even thinner, it's sort of I'm scared of paper cuts. So what a photo etch cut would be like.
Well, yeah, paper cut could be worse, but those things can really slice you up pretty good.
Yeah.
So, what are you working on?
Me?
Yeah, you.
All right. No, funny thing. I posted it this morning. I'm trying to finish this ME 109. I don't know again how much detail will show up on this, but
I will screen share.
yeah.
That's, that looks like a tester's kit. That's how small it looks.
It's a 148 scale Revell kit, 1978 vintage, so it's quite an old kit. But it has, I don't know if you're seeing this easy line and so on the, probably not showing up that well. It's so thin.
Oh yeah.
The aerials and so on for the radio system. Although it would be finished, but I have painted this flaming spinner about 5 times, and each time it doesn't come out. I wouldn't mind. I've done a 1/72 scale with the same spiral finish on the spinner with no problem. But this thing is doing my head in.
See, I'm screen sharing.
I've tried tape. I've tried glue tack. Oh yeah. And she's fairly dirty, deliberately so. But it's a surprisingly good kit for the vintage. One thing I did notice was it's been re-released a few times by Revell. Not great pictures, unfortunately. Sorry.
Oh, actually, they're perfect. Look at the canopy. The canopy's really in focus here.
Yeah, you can see the easy line on the radio system as well there, which is just so fine. And I'm missing a part, the concrete monster. I don't have a carpet monster. The concrete monster, which is on the floor here, ate apart last night, which I can't find. It's a little downward pointing piece of hardware on the bottom of the wing. I'll have to manufacture a new one. So. And then I was going to be doing some more sci-fi, but I've changed my mind. Phil has inspired me. I'll show you why. 1 second, I'll show you what I've done. Hold on.
Oh my! You got ores for that?
Get my earphones back in. Sorry about that.
Oh.
I had an opportunity to get 2 kits for a very low amount of money that have obviously lived in a shed somewhere for 6 years or so, and so they've been covered in spiders and all sorts of detritus and whatever else. But I don't know, you get an idea of the size of this thing.
I've ruined you.
Oh, yeah.
It's whoever had it assembled. It comes in 2 halves. So they stuck the 2 halves together and they put obviously 1 coat of paint on the bottom, but they did nothing else to the kit. It's a Flyer class Corvette, 1/72 scale.
Nice.
So it's a biggie for what it is. The reason I'm interested in this is that Derry, where I live here, was the headquarters basically for the Canadian Navy, the Royal Navy, and the US Navy during the war for the Battle of the Atlantic. So, and these Corvette class ships were built. They built them in 2.5 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, then you should be able to do yours in 2.5 weeks. I mean, come on.
If
That's
I didn't
1/72 of the time.
if I didn't eat or sleep or did anything else, perhaps, Louis, but I'm interested in it because of the local history, and then I got a Type 7C submarine which matches this 1/72 scale, so I'll be doing that as well. But I'll be sort of switching between this and something else. I'm into a way of working now that I'll do 2 kits at a time, which I think keeps your sanity much better. But it's a nice size to work on.
Very cool. Very cool. How you doing, Lou?
I'm doing great. I've had a fantastic couple of weeks. How about yourself?
Oh, we know.
Fantastic, even.
Don't rub it on.
I discovered something very important this week about hosting videos on YouTube.
Oh, really?
If you put the Enterprise in it, you will get hit. My normal video usually gets about 200, 250 hits, you know, and then it kind of peters out. I put an enterprise video up a week ago, and I'm up over 600. So,
wow. Freaking nerds.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of modeler's porn. I realize that.
No, that's Star Trek porn.
Yeah, which is modeler's porn.
You know,
We're all very jealous.
no, seriously, you know, the Yeoman could be good pornography, but what is it? It's a piece of shit. It's a hardware. I mean,
It's a hardware.
when was the last time you kissed a girl?
Well, I've kissed Janice Rand, but that's another story.
So what's on your bench, Lou? I got a screen share on your site.
Working a couple of things. This is the latest. What I'm working on now.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Nice. Yeah, I like that character. That was a good character.
Doing some
Rocky.
figure modeling, and this is the next victim.
Next victim.
Oh,
Next victim from
Interstellar?
Templates. Yeah,
Nice.
that's the Interstellar Ranger.
Oh, I didn't think it was out yet.
It's not.
Oh, here we go. I'm going. I'm going to huff. I'm away.
So
It's
what I have on your Google Plus is this. Is this top secret here?
What's that?
It's masks for the Interstellar, is it?
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I'm working on now. It's not top secret. It's just a bit. It's just still gestating.
Still gestating. Oh my god.
is it a finished kit or is it a pre-release version?
This is a test shot of the actual kit.
And what is your opinion?
My opinion of it is it's great kit, but it's a little bit lacking in detail. There's no interior. There's no window. I mean, their windows are there, but they're not open. And I believe Paul is working on making a photo etch interior.
Who's
So,
the manufacturer? Or
what's that?
is it a Mobius or who's doing it?
Yeah, I'm sorry, this is Mobius.
Right.
And I mean, it's about as accurate as you can get. It's I don't know what his source material for the files were, but it's there. It's got all the shapes.
They obviously built a full size version.
But I'll be painting this up later this weekend.
A lovely ship.
Shouldn't take a lot of time. I mean, it's the number of parts is minimal, but it's certainly ripe for people who want to customize it.
Mm-hmm.
It
Nice.
works in the movie. It works big time in the movie.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I appreciate the fact that Nolan actually had models made of it for the movie. It wasn't done in CG. It was.
And they had a full size. They had full size version.
There was I think there was like a 70-80% scale of full size. That's why it was always kind of in the background. It wasn't actual size. It was slightly smaller than full size for the prop. And then there was a like a 5-foot model for filming.
Wow.
There's a wonderful shot of the cameraman, you know, checking a light meter up against the model, and it's up at this orientation, and you can see the wonderful work on it. But it was a large miniature, but it wasn't. But it did use miniatures.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. You get to get all the kits because to I don't know how do you get? Never mind. I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get into it. So, how's your school studies going, Spike?
No, just wonderful.
Just wonderful. I'm going to screen share something from your Google Plus, and the reason I am because I certainly appreciate your post when it comes to this. All right.
Yes, sir. It must be a while ago. I haven't talked to you for a while.
No, it's recent. It's right on the top of your list here.
Wow.
You get these customized. I call them jalopies. I don't know if that's a proper term for them.
It's an old style.
Probably not, but
Yeah, well, no, I mean, you certainly get up with these 4 wheels that, like for an example, this one.
yeah, it's a mixture of photos, drag race, and hot rods and that. Yeah.
And hot rods, yeah. This is actually. This looks like it's from a movie.
That's back in the early, I think it was late 50s, early 60s.
Would that be Australian graffiti?
Oh,
No, that's actually an American shot. That's actually in America.
This is a cool one too. You know, I did look on eBay, and I have not seen in the hobby shops hot rods or drag race.
Yeah,
Drag
it's
racing cars.
plenty of drag racing models and that around.
Right, something like this would be, I think, a lot of fun to build. I mean, you know, would you ever scratch build something like this?
No, it's not sort of up my alley.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, I haven't been really sharing, but see, I'm trying to be a good switchboard person, and I messed up just right there. And of course,
What I
here's
can
Phil.
tell you, Ian,
Huh?
from the last show that we had, I showed you guys that altered wheelbase drag car that I got, and I said that I was ordering some bodies for that vehicle, and they did turn up last week. That's one of them there. That's a 1964 Dodge altered wheelbase car. These are resin bodies. And the other one there is a 2009 Dodge that's been altered quite a bit to go onto that chassis of that kit that I had. And these bodies are made by Jimmy Flintstone, which probably everybody's probably heard of that guy.
Oh, yeah.
And between myself and a friend of mine, Jason, we ordered five bodies off of him, and we had them sent over from the United States to here. And because we ordered 5, he threw an extra one in for nothing. So we got 6 for the price of 5. So yeah, he looked after us. So yeah. So now I've got the bodies and I've got the kits. Now all I've got to do is find somebody to put them together.
Are you going to get a break in your studies?
Yeah, hopefully pretty soon. By the sounds of things, they're going to lay off some of the homework they've been giving us. So if they do, I can get back to doing what I want to do.
Sure. Yeah, you know something, I got to hand it to you, Spike, because you know I finished. Well, actually, I was very untraditional. I graduated university at 48, so I really can hand it to you for doing it. It's easy in some ways because you're older and more mature. In other ways, it's a bitch.
Yeah, but the only thing is too that the actual studies that they're getting me to do, they talk to me like I'm an 18-year-old, and I've just started into the working type sort of thing, whereas I've been there, done that, you know what I mean? And a lot of questions I get asked, or things I get asked, I know the answers to them. I've been there and done that sort of thing. But anyway.
Well, yeah, I felt that way too. A lot of my professors were some of them were considerably younger than me, and somehow I felt that they were making it particularly tough for me because I was the adult in the class.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the thing that I thought was easy was the actual going to classes. But what I thought was difficult was the homework. It took time away from me. That's what was difficult for me, you know. Because when you're older, you're kind of set in your ways, and you know, you're not as flexible with your time. That was tough. Well, speaking of tough, hi, Phil.
Hi. Sorry, I had to leave. That was my wife on the phone. She's in Florida and we're watching. She's supposed to fly back tomorrow afternoon, so we're not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah, because the snow that you got recently was pretty heavy. No?
Yeah, and we're under a warning for tomorrow as well with snow and ice. So, well, we'll see. Anyway, so we're working on a few things.
Completely broken up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phil's completely broken up.
Well, I've just had a week's vacation while she's been away, and I'm due back at work tomorrow morning. It looks like she's going to get stuck down there, so maybe I'll have another day off.
That's too funny.
And she
you're
doesn't
holding an
watch
X-Wing.
these videos at all.
You hope.
Yeah, this is Red 5. It's in Prime. Painting's very hard. Sorry?
Which kit is that?
This is the AMT.
Is that the classic one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this one. It's this one.
Same as Jack's. Yeah, that one.
It's this one.
Yeah, painting's a bit hard at the moment because my painting area in the basement's not heated. So when I shoot the primer on, you know how it's supposed to slightly dry in the air and then tack up? Yeah. It's just not happening. So I ended up with a few runs. So kind of stuck with that. Same deal with the Saturn V, which is again in primer. So it'll be a few weeks before I put top coats on those. And I'm working on the Hornet.
Yes, that's what I wanted to start screen sharing. You did put a video on an unboxing of the Hornet.
Yeah, Danny asked me to do that, so I thought I'd knock that up.
That's one of the few videos that I actually watched all the way through. A long time.
Oh, wow.
You had what? I don't know, 40 pieces on a sprue and about 50 sprues and 40 different. I don't know. You were just like
there was 41 packets of parts trees.
Wow.
And it made about 90, and there were multiple parts, multiple trees in the packets. So when I counted them up, it came to about 90.
90 sprues.
Yeah. I thought there'd be less than that on an aircraft carrier, but the interior underneath the flight deck is incredibly detailed. So, yeah, there's a lot there.
So what I was screen sharing here was this foam wall insulation that you put out and cut out a hole. Let's go to the next slide and see how it all fits together. And that is, of course, to work on it without scratching the bottom and keeping it steady, yada, yada, yada. Right?
No, I'm going to do this in a diorama instead of doing it on the stand.
Oh.
So that's actually what I did there is I marked the waterline, because unfortunately they don't mold the waterline in on this huge model, so you've got to do it. And I think it's about there. Yep, that'll do it. So if you go back a couple of shots, I made up a little jig to mark the waterline. So then what I did was I picked up some piece of 21/32 panel by 16 inches down at Lowe's, a pack of...
Oh, yeah, jig.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Highly scientific. But you can see there the ship's just sitting on top of the phone. So then because it doesn't come as a waterline model, and I wasn't going to cut the hull. That would be,
that would be insane, actually.
Well, would be inviting disaster. So I built up around it using the foam.
Oh.
This foam was $8.
Yeah.
For like 6 1-inch pieces, 12 by 48. You go and buy that at Hobby Lobby or something like that. It's going to cost you about $20 a sheet.
You go to the hardware store to get that foam.
Yeah.
I remember that it comes like a pack of 6 and a bag, or sometimes they sell it individually.
Yeah.
And it's just wall insulation for thin walls. It's usually a soundproofer.
Yep. So that's filled up as the base, and all I've got to do now is lay some tissue paper over it to stabilize it and start building the ocean. So. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing.
That's interesting because last week you said, I got nothing.
Well, it was still sitting in the box. Oh, and something else I got too is I got an... Oh, I just lost it.
Hey, Phil, how will you finish off that foam? Will you put box it in with a wooden frame or something?
Yeah, I need to get some, like 1/4-inch nice finished trim pieces, go around the edge, just to dress it up. During the week, I sharked somebody on eBay and picked up an NPC Empire Strikes Back Star Destroyer.
I've been wanting to get that for quite a while.
That cost me $40 with free shipping, so that was all right.
Oh my God, that's good.
Yeah. And what's the other thing I was going to mention? Oh yeah, I'm thinking with this diorama. Merit International also make a 1/18th scale Douglas Dauntless. And I'm thinking above the diorama I might hang a huge Dauntless, because that's what actually flew off the Hornet in action.
Huh.
But I still have to buy that kit. That's huge. You know, it's like has a 35-inch wingspan, I think, at 1/18th scale. It's really
I think someone's built that in Fine Scale Modeler in the past.
Mm-hmm.
If I can find the issue, I'll try and get it to you, Phil.
Cool, thank you. So yeah, I got nothing.
Right. That's what I was going to say. You got nothing, and all of a sudden it's like an avalanche, a tsunami of stuff that you got. You got the X-wing, you got the Hornet, you got the Dauntless, you got, of course, the parts of the diorama, and what I can't even think what else, because you got it all. You got it all together there, Phil. All together.
Yeah, I'm going crazy. I need more vacation.
All right. Next up, we have Jamie. How you doing, Jamie?
I am not too bad actually. Been quite busy actually, from where I was last time we talked and from where I am now. Well, I've been working on that Enterprise, and
just so you know, I'll be screen sharing what you're going to hold up. I know what you're going to hold up, but go ahead.
This is at the final soft sanding flogging, the final pre-coat. There you go.
Very nice.
This is now the saucer complete. All the electrics are here. On Google, I actually did post it working, so you can see. The only thing I'm a bit peeved with this is I was supposed to be fitting a combo board, a phasers torpedo board, and the phasers were going to go here.
Yeah.
But I've sealed the saucer.
Oops.
So now all I'm going to have is the photo of torpedoes, because I forgot about to put the phasers in. That was a bit of a bummer.
Well, if anybody knows the 1,000 scale kit for the original Enterprise, the pylons are kind of connected together in a U shape, or a V shape, actually. And last year I put it together. I lit the tiny little nacelles. It was all perfect. And then just about when I was mounting the pylons with the nacelles on it onto the body, it was backwards.
Oh,
the nacelles were backwards. I'm like, oh.
I've also been working on this. You know that kit I've got on? The Elvira kit that doesn't come with the pit properly. Well, I've been working on that a bit, so there you go.
Oh.
The one that's like really big. But yeah.
You went from the curves of the Enterprise to curves to a woman. You must have kissed a girl.
Yeah. Well, my other half keeps saying, I see you playing with her arse again every time I keep standing down this bit. But that's what I've been working on.
Well,
the Enterprise is taking up a lot of my time at the moment.
This is what you have posted about the saucer section.
There's actually a video I posted too, and that's before I started doing the edge.
Right.
If you go down further, there's an actual video of the actual ship, the saucer lit.
Well, here. I don't know if I can share the video on the Hangout. I don't think so.
But you get a rough idea of what it's like.
Yeah, but if you're not into sci-fi or Star Trek, I mean, lighting these kits looks like this. It's a rat's nest. And you're one of, I don't know how many people actually do it, but I know I do it all the time because I think it's easier to work with, even though some people think it's hard to work with, and that will be magnetic wire.
Yeah,
magnetic wire is great. It's like hair thin, and you can actually squeeze it into tight little spaces. I see here that you've got the rec deck here too.
Yeah, it's all
sorted.
Yeah. The impulse crystal changes from blue to orange and orange to blue.
Right.
The officer's lounge in the middle there, that's got an SMD at the back of it, which lights up a picture, and then you've got an SMD just at the side of it, and that lights up the officer's lounge itself.
Right. If anything, you got to appreciate the amount of work. A part. This is one part.
Yeah, just one part.
Yeah, you got to appreciate that, at least that much as far as sci-fi goes. See, there I go again. I'm not on a great switchboard right now.
The other thing with that magnet wire, Jack, if I was to do that in normal electrical wire, thin electrical wire, you'd never fit it into the saucer. You'd never do it. It'd be impossible to fit into the saucer. You just have a mass of, it wouldn't go together, basically.
Right, right. And it finishes so nicely. But you know, this is the 22-inch kit. I can tell, and the reason why I can tell that is the upper decks on the top saucers are totally out of scale. Those are way out of scale. I don't know. Is there aftermarket parts for this part right here?
What, the Enterprise?
Oh yeah, this is the 22-inch kit.
We're using the photo edge after edge part. There's also you can buy an alternate bridge hanger bay for it. But it's like the kit hanger bay is like this long, and you can buy aftermarket part that shortens it now to about. But I bought that aftermarket part kit, and you know, I wasn't. It's fiddly. Well, I wasn't that impressed with it actually. And then I decided to do a bit of a kit bash on one. So I've got two Enterprise kits because I lost the one saucer. And I thought, well, why can't you make your own aftermarket part kit? So I did that.
Nice.
And that's made from the whole of the hanger bay that you get. And this part is the back of the hanger bay. And that part is also the top, the back of the hanger bay, and then you just stick it together, and then you get your own aftermarket part hanger bay, which worked out quite well. And it actually fits perfectly on the back of the. If you look at this, these are just being blacked up, light blocked. But if you look at this, I can't put this on here. I think it's off. It actually does fit on there.
Well, that's the real heartbreak about that kit. It's like you have this elaborately produced interior, but once you close it all up, you only see this much through the back shuttle bay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the Arboretum. You've got a fantastic looking Arboretum on that thing, and you do a lot of work on the Arboretum, and the actual view you see is like that much.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a shame, but it's just one of those kits the way it is.
Well, you know, though, I've built a few cars in my day, and you do a nice interior. You put the gas and brake pedal in, you'll see them.
No, that's true. Yeah.
I think the best example of that is the Seaview.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
You build a whole nice long cabin into Seaview, and all you end up seeing is what you can see inside those windows in the front. So unless you throw a lot of light at it from the back, you're never going to see all that detail.
No, and there's some really good detail at the back of that Seaview.
Oh yeah, yeah. And if you replace the plastic with clear pieces of glass or a little bit more optically clear material, you can see in there. But if you use the thick part plastic, sometimes it distorts it, and you can't see clearly back in there anyway. You almost want to do a cutaway.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've spent more days on this saucer than I have actually trying to fit other pieces onto it. It's ridiculous. The seam work is absolutely horrendous on it. To try and get it so that you can't see the seam and it's a perfectly arched oval round. But I've just finally got there, and it's now ready for its final coat, pre-coat, before I do the final coat of the base coat. And then you got all the Azdecking to do, which is another story.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Liam knows about it, don't you, Liam?
Yes.
You don't know anything
That's
about
why
this.
I'm so grey.
What's that?
What's that,
That's why
Liam?
I'm so grey.
I was going to say, you not knowing about Aztecing is like saying, never mind. I think under 18-year-olds are watching.
What, you think people paint it more than one color?
Yeah, it's 4 colours on this one.
Okay. Thanks, Jamie. That was really
That's what I'm up to, guys. So I haven't got a lot more to show you, but the Enterprise is taking a lot of my time at the moment.
Well, I'll probably get around to it, I guess, in the next lifetime. I got a lot of other things to do ahead of time. So what I've been doing, and of course a lot has happened with me all of a sudden, and the suddenness is the fact that I've built models, I just haven't taken pictures of them. And this is my Nova Yenko, which ends up, I was pretty surprised how popular it's been on the community. I like to thank you guys for complimenting and appreciating what I've done. I'm getting good at this.
You need a bit of backwatch on that grill, though, Jack.
Yes. Who was it? I can't remember. I think it might have been Chris Pandoff who suggested to get some black wash in the grill.
Yeah,
so some dimension to it. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll certainly do that. But I've been working very diligently and trying very hard to get a good coat of paint on the body.
Yeah.
And I think I've achieved my skill on that. So it's time to, of course, it's dusty. I kind of wiped it down with a paper towel.
Yeah, Jack, get some Tamiya smoke, transparent smoke.
Mm-hmm.
and just lay it in there in the grill, and it'll seep into all of the into your rivets and recesses just perfect.
And you know what I liked about this particular kit is the windshield wipers came separate.
Oh, nice.
No, that's good.
I didn't take the there's the underside.
Yeah.
I think it was this was a little short. I put a little piece of styrene in there. You can see this. It's being circled
Yeah.
to at least join up so this part doesn't dangle, and it seemed to work. It was a point, I don't know, it was a thin piece of styrene.
Where the exhaust goes into the manifold, exhaust manifold.
The mufflers and the pipes, very interesting story on that. I had bought gunmetal air from Vallejo, and it was a little thick. So I put thinner in it, and it never got mixed in. It's clumpy.
Which thinner did you use, Jack?
The what?
Which thinner did you use?
The Vallejo's.
Right, I'm surprised. Is it the clear one or the...
And road accidents happened.
Let's see. There was another one that I was working diligently to perfect my decaling. Is it here? There it is. This is the Chevy Chevelle. It was a rough build. As you can see, the hood's not fitting on too nicely. But I worked at getting the decals to work very nice on this one. And the interior. This I found a light interior. The Yenko has a black interior. You can't see it. But here are your pedals.
Yep.
Here are your pedals.
Yeah.
Turn the radio on.
That's all decals, of course. And yeah, I mean, this was the challenge because of the decaling. And really, in person, it looks like it's painted on, and that's the idea. I used microsol to do it, and if you see between the seam of the door, I did cut it out.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you use for a final coat on yours, Jack?
When
all your decals are done and all your painting's done, the coat that sort of protects it all, what do you use?
Acrylic floor wax. Here, let me cut this out. I didn't want to buy the brand called Future. Now it's called Pledge. So I bought the Home Depot variety. So this is just floor wax, professional floor wax.
Oh, no, you get to that as the final coat.
Yeah, but I couldn't understand why I couldn't get it glossy. That is why.
Because it's
But I like it though. I mean, it's particularly with the Yenko, it has metal flakes in it, and the satin coat sets off the metal flakes much better because the metal flakes are shiny and the satin dulls down the rest of the paint, so there's a dimension to it if you look it up close in person.
But it's very good. I love the detail on I know it's only a decal, but I still love the detail you did on the inside of that car.
Thank you. And I got a nice tip from people in the community that I wash it, prime it, paint it, and use toothpaste to sand it down, to polish it. And it's actually kind of nice because doing it with toothpaste is not a harsh chemical to be sniffing.
It's minty fresh when you're done.
But it does. It's a fine abrasive, and it sands down the paint really nicely. And with the Yenko, I did 2 coats of paint, and in between I did sanding with the toothpaste, and it really worked really well. And then of course when I got the acrylic on it, I used toothpaste again to get the fine smooth surface on the final finish.
Jack.
Yes.
To do what you're talking about, you can use Brasso.
Brasso?
Yes.
That's impressive. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the same thing. It's a very fine cutting compound.
Mm-hmm. And it does take paint off. It certainly does, because I do it with a cotton ball, and the paint gets onto the cotton ball when you do it.
Just a cotton ball, and that. Yeah, you can just cut it back with a cotton ball. But yeah,
Brasso
will do just as good job as toothpaste will.
Really? Okay. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I've got a tip for you guys. I don't know if you know about this one, but when you're masking your models for painting, most of us use this, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. We either use this or we use the very thin stuff. Now,
yes. Expensive stuff from Tamiya,
Yeah, I've found for really getting close to edges, and you don't get any after spill afterwards, and you don't get any build up of edges and stuff. I came across it years and years and years ago by chance. I don't know if you guys know about this, but I find it better especially when you're trying to cut round little pieces, or you're trying to cut round awkward pieces that you're trying to mask. That you can't push this stuff on quite very well, and you're sort of cutting around it, and you think, oh, there's a bit missing there. Years ago, I experimented and I came up with this, and you might laugh, but it's ideal. It works. You don't get any extra paint on. Is this?
Mm-hmm.
Now this is household electrical tape, and it's one of the best things for masking. Just to give you a demonstration of it, here in a circle is not easy to go round as a circle.
Yeah, that's vinyl. Electric tape is vinyl.
Yeah. So you put that electrical tape on, and you get your perfect circle, and it seals brilliantly.
But don't you find it leaving a residue? Because if you leave it on too long, it's certainly, especially in hot weather, you certainly will have a residue left over.
No, Jack, I have done this with it. Look, watch this. See, electrical tape?
Yeah.
Right, I've left that on there, on places like that for days and days, and you can rip off like that, and you don't even get them off.
Well, my point is that if you have hot temperatures or direct sunlight, which you don't get in the UK.
No. It's called the sun. It's a bright object in the sky.
Well, in the wintertime, it gets pretty dark here in western Pennsylvania, and I'll tell you what, when the sun comes out, I think the end of the world is coming too. Because you're like bull eyes, you're like this, you're like squinting, and you're like, oh God, it's too bright.
Maybe your masking tape's different to ours, Jack, because I've had this on models for days. And it's
the real idea for electrical tape is that you can, since it's vinyl, you can stretch it across electrical connection, but also perhaps coats to some of the copper just so it's better insulated too. So there is a thick residue that you can get on electrical tape. It does get really tacky. And if you were to use it, don't use it at short periods, I would think. You know.
Sometimes if it leaves a residue, sometimes you can get it off with just a little bit of alcohol on a Q-tip too.
Oh, okay, that's true. You could with rubbing alcohol, won't harm the paint. That's,
Jamie, my roll's a little bit wider than yours, but it basically does the same thing.
God, you can cover that long ago.
It's a little bit. It's a little bit wider.
I don't think you'll spray anything if I put that on it.
Well, let's take a look at what the community has been posting lately after we've talked all about us. Is this real or is this a bash?
It's a bash.
You know,
that's the hot kit, isn't it?
No, that's not. I've never seen an eagle looking like that of any
It's a hawk.
It's a what?
Yeah, it was in Space 1999.
Well, Guido, I hope you watch this and you tell us and straighten us out. Because
that's a hot kit.
Okay. It looked like a bash to me.
I watched every episode of Space 99. I didn't ever see anything like that.
And you didn't watch all of them.
Obviously not.
Or sober.
It looks like Guido is taking a page out of James' book about stands.
Yeah. I've got one of those laying around someplace here. I just have to figure out where it is.
And let's see, what else do we have? Okay, Mark, we haven't talked about you lately. Let's see what you're up to. And this looks like a Gundam type kit.
I saw that. It looks like the skeleton of a kit.
Yeah, that's just the that is just the frame for the Gundam, the inside frame.
Is it really?
Yeah, the armor goes on top of that. That's just the frame.
Oh, I thought that was the actual model.
I've seen something similar to that they did for Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
They did an Optimus Prime that had a body much like that you added the armor onto.
Oh, wow. That's just cool the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw it.
Well, you see the green parts and the yellow parts? I wonder if you can light those.
They actually have a new Gundam that came out at the beginning of the year that comes. You can buy it with an LED kit to light up all the inside. It's got 11 LEDs on the inside.
Wow.
That lights up all the frame and all that bit.
SMDs would work very well in something like this. I would imagine it's not very large, probably about, what, 8 inches?
Yeah, this one's probably about. I think this one's about 11 inches.
The nice thing is you could run the wiring down the side and make it look a part of the design.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to try to hide the wiring necessarily.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean the wiring could look like it was, like you say, a part of the kit, couldn't you?
Mm-hmm. Wow. I'm glad you did a very highly, what do you call it? High resolution picture.
Is that Alclad, you think?
Alclad?
You think it? I don't. What kind of finish is on that?
I don't know. It looks
that
good.
may be stock.
Yeah.
That may be stock because the Gundam kits all come pre-colored.
That's true. They do come pre-painted, don't they?
Okay.
Gundam, there it is.
Yeah.
Is this a series or something that they've got these from? Is it just basically what they built these kits as Gundam?
Yeah.
I've never heard of them, you see.
And they're posable too. I like that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Really cool. Okay. Good.
Well, go back. Okay, you can get an idea of the size of that from the grid on the mat.
Right. Yeah, I'd say about a foot tall.
Yeah.
I'd say at least a foot tall.
Yeah. So That's a 1/100 kit. Yeah.
And since we are talking about Gundam, Mark has posted a lot of Gundam. And it looks like our friend Don has abated a little bit about his rockets. And Mark took over with his Gundam.
His labor. Yeah.
So this is with the armor.
Labor. Yeah.
The little guy. Very nicely painted. Look at that.
Pilot. Oh, look at the wee pilot.
Reminds me of that scene. That reminds me of that scene out of Aliens with that plane.
It's Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, she was about to fight that alien.
Uh-huh.
Did this come? Is this from a magazine or some sort of TV series?
This is from an anime.
Anime.
Well, I'd never heard of
it.
Those wacky Japanese.
The Pat Labor series.
Right, I see. Okay.
Oh, wow. Look how the layer upon layer of assembly here.
Yeah.
The pilot is here, and a chest, I guess.
Yeah.
It is so cool. It's so cool.
I mean, that's another thing with like one of these models. Was it all that wonderful work that we were just shown, actually the skeleton? You don't actually see.
No, you only see the skeleton at the joints.
That's what I mean. I think that model will look great as a skeleton on its own.
Yeah, but then you could show a diorama of it being constructed or something, and you still have the skeleton sitting there, and then you could have, you know, the panels off on a gantry or something being applied.
Yeah.
You did a paper model like this though, James, haven't you?
Yes, I did. Actually, I did a version of the AV-98 there last year with the gantry and the whole bit, with the service gantry and all.
When you first started coming on to the Hangouts, that's what I remember seeing from you. That it was just not just that, but it was inside a diorama. You call it the gantry?
Yeah. The service gantry, yeah.
That's Gundam style. Isn't that like a song or something?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Gangnam style.
Oh, Gundam style. Okay, I guess I did. And our good friend Carwin, he's such a good modeler, and he has done an interior for this particular kit.
They're on about. Yeah.
And I think that he's also, of course, lit it up.
Yeah, he's one talented dude.
He is certainly that. He is certainly that. And of course, this is one of one. Damn him. He could have posted more pictures, but this is a good representation of his fine, detailed work. The paint that he's used, and even in a subdued lighting situation, you can still see the details about this particular runabout. Now, look, you can look in the windows here, and he's done an interior.
Yep.
He's done an interior. So, anyhow, what else do we have on our community?
1,248, is it?
Oh, you mean the amount of members we have?
Keeps going up, yeah.
1,258, and it grows about 5 or 10 a week.
It's fun to have all them on one Hangout, Jack.
Well, it'd be nice to see some more of them in the Hangouts.
You know those pop videos they do where they single from all over the world now with the little faces?
Yeah.
You could have one of those, couldn't you, as a Hangout?
I picked up something yesterday. Doug Drexler's new book, Ships of the Line.
Oh, nice. Oh, really? Ships in a... Oh, that would be actually pretty cool.
It's all art. It's all art drawings by Doug Drexler and other artists, and that all collected in more or less as a historical anthology of all the ships.
Also, model building does do something that I don't think many hobbies do. Maybe scrapbooking. I don't know. I don't know much about scrapbooking. But here is Mark Fierro, who has a picture of his dad with his Camaro. And for his birthday, he had bought a kit, and he's going to be building it.
Yep.
And I think, wow, look at it, he's already built it. Nice. Nice. He's building it for his dad for his birthday.
Love those rims.
I don't think I'll ever see a model kit of my first car, but back in the late 60s and the early 70s, certainly the muscle car era was a great time for cars because they didn't have all the safety regulation. There's a government, protecting us. We don't have any cool cars. They all look like spaceship bubbles. Even though I'm a sci-fi fan, spaceship bubbles is what they are.
And they would not allow you to drive it yourself.
Right, but I think Mark is right on the mark, or should I say Matt, it's not Mark, it's Matt. Sorry, Matt. He's on the mark about building a kit for his dad. My dad's first car was I think it was a Plymouth. Is a Valiant a car with Plymouth back in the day?
That's right.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, my mom said he used in the wintertime, if it got below freezing, the car wouldn't start. So he had one of those work lights with a cage around it,
Right.
up against the battery all night long.
I remember doing as a kid, yeah. Having to do something to keep the engine block warm.
Right.
Yeah, those old trouble lights, they'd heat up everything.
and then I remember a green Le Mans. I think it was a 70 or a 71. I think it was a two-door. Do they come four-door?
No.
None in Le Mans. Le Mans was always a two-door, I think.
Okay, it had vinyl seats and it was hot as hell in the summer and cold as crap in the winter.
Sounds like a Holden.
If it wasn't for the American car companies, we wouldn't have these stories. You realize that nobody talks about Japanese cars like this.
That's what you used to keep the throw blanket in the front of the seat for.
I knew, and back in the day, they did the fun fur in a back ledge, back seat above the window, in a window.
Passenger
Yep.
shelf.
The back deck, yeah.
Yeah, put the fun fur there. Other than the fuzzy dice. But lately I've been looking around the YouTube, particularly because I have an interest in these tiny little coasters with balls rolling through it. I don't know if you guys seen, I know James has commented on the one that I found with Connects.
Yeah.
I can't share it because it's a video, but go onto the Amazing Plastic community and check this guy out, or even just search YouTube for Connects coasters or Connect roller coasters. I'm sure you'll find it. Amazing stuff, and that's another form of plastic. Come on, amazing plastic. And I'm kind of like itching to get something like that done. I don't know. That looks really cool. Don't you agree, James?
That was a 2-year build, too, to build that thing.
Yeah, he did date it on a video. 2 years to build, and if you see it, you'll see why it was 2 years. And Bradley has something here. Let's see if I can get a screen shared. It's a tiny little. Have you guys seen this?
Oh, that tiny little Iowa class, yes.
He's another modeler that does surprise me. He's a sci-fi guy, but he breaks out and does very different things. And I really appreciate his talent, too. He's really good at what he does. Look how clean this is.
Yeah, bastard.
Bastard. Well, you did good work, too. Very similar, Phil,
I'm just an old hack. I'm good at gluing the plastic, but after that, it gets hard.
Okay, I found another car from Robert Butcher. He did it February 1st. So let's take a look and see what this is. It's the first time I'm seeing this. Got me. Spike?
Looks like a Roadrunner.
Like the metal flat paint.
Back window and down the back tail lights, it looks like a Dodge Roadrunner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got a 426 in it. It's a Dodge.
Like the metal fleck paint that he's got on it. Dodge. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it does look.
Pretty sure it's a Roadrunner.
Mm-hmm. Well, Robert, you got. I think I'm stumped, but if you think it's a Roadrunner, I'll take your word for it.
Pretty sure. By the looks of the back quarters and going back to the tail lights, it looks like a Roadrunner to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that would have been it for the community for now. I'm going to save some for tomorrow's Sunday night hangout. I'm going to. Joe McCaslin, one of my favorites, model builders, has posted a lot of stuff too. So I want to share that tomorrow on the Amazing Plastic Sunday hangout. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern. So that would be in the morning. That would be in the morning for you, Spike. We'll see. We'll probably see Heath there. We'll probably see Heath there because it's morning in Australia then. You guys got anything else to share?
I'm going to school. When you've got that show on, I'm going to school.
Oh, okay. Okay. And you're going to school and Heath is staying home.
Hmm.
Guys.
Hello, Heath.
So, Phil, what are you doing?
I'm gluing girders.
You're gluing girders.
Girders, yeah. This is the underside of the hangar bay elevators.
Oh,
They'll never be seen because I'm gluing them in, but I'm doing a nice job anyway.
Give you practice for the things that are seen.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the deck's clear. The idea being that you leave the deck clear so you can see down inside. I think that just looks chintzy. So,
let's make it a bitch to land on.
There are some side bay doors that are open, so you see a little bit of the interior, but not as much as they kind of think you should.
What glue are you using? I see you're using a Tester's something or another.
Just Testers sniff this and be happy glue. Just
with the extra thin nasal applicator. It's got the extra thin nasal applicator on it.
Yeah. And if you like, you
really have to get up in there.
You can also use the you can use the thinner, and you can just brush that on.
Well, as we're going to let Phil finish that, I'd like to thank the community for posting all that great stuff that we are sharing here on the Sunday Hangout and Across the Pond as of today this morning. And thank you for joining us, and thank you, James, for showing us that there's more to modeling than paper.
You're welcome, Jack.
And of course, bye, Jamie. You're on the phone. Just wave. Thank you. Liam, thank you for joining us too. Your what I find interesting about your build, I think, is the Messerschmitt, right?
Yep.
Well, that's what I find interesting. You're in the UK and you built a Messerschmitt.
German planes are much more interesting than boring old Spitfires and Hurricanes.
Okay, we heard it from the UK. And Lou, thank you for joining us. You're always amusing. Thank you for your humor as well.
Happy to help out. Isn't it always the case that the villain has the best toys?
Yeah. Oh, before who's been to see oh, sugar, what's it? Kingsman? Anyone seen Kingsman yet?
No, I'm looking forward to it. I don't think it's
Totally recommend it. Completely, totally silly. A cross between James Bond and Our Man Flint.
Yeah.
Kingsman is the one with Johnny Depp?
No,
Colin Firth.
Colin Firth and Samuel Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
His evil master, terrible lift.
Sorry about that, guys. It was my other half on the phone, but you know.
Isn't Ewan McGregor in that too, or am I imagining it?
No, it's not.
Who else was in that? Michael Caine.
He's in it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's supposed to be in everything.
And you're in it.
Yeah.
I watched a good one, lads. That Sniper 3. Did you see that? I'm not Sniper 3. Yeah.
American Sniper
in America.
Okay, boys, we can talk about the movies later. Jack has to go to the bathroom and would like to finish the show.
Okay, Jack.
Thank you, Phil, for joining us as well and showing us that we can apply glue to our nasal passages. And also, Robert, thank you for joining us. As always, good luck with your studies. This is Scratch and Jack on his way to the bathroom. Have a good day. Bye now.